Hey guys, it's Anna and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my most addictive perfumes. They just have this it factor to them that continuously draws me to them. And I, of course, have many in my collection that fit this category. I think like anyone goes through phases where you're really getting a kick out of like particular profiles, but this is what I'm feeling right now, so I thought I would share. The first one is Replica Jazz Club. Nothing quite gets me going like a perfume that absolutely transports me. It speaks to me, like it sets a scene, a mood, a vibe. When imagery comes to life from a fragrance, that is so captivating and special to me. The name is Jazz Club, set in Brooklyn. Fragrance description: heady cocktails and cigars, memory in a fragrance. It does just that. This is so unbelievably sexy to me. This is unisex leaning masculine, but I think this is hot on a woman. And if you like this kind of scent profile, but you want to make it more feminine, layer it with a cherry, a vanilla, you're getting the tobacco, the rum. You can just envision this whole scene when you smell this fragrance of like walking into a dimly lit bar in Brooklyn, New York. Like you have these worn in kind of like leather seats. There's accents of stone and wood incorporated into this setting. There's like a fancy old chandelier. There's people playing jazz in the corner. You're picking up on the tobacco, the rum, and I pick up on this overall kind of like balmy texture to the fragrance from the styrax. There's a dry, woody quality from the vetiver. You have pink pepper, sage, and a dry vanilla that's not sweet, just to pull it all together. I feel like my best self wearing this. I feel confident, ready for a night out. I just adore it. And this is actually one from the Replica line that performs better. I get about 5-6 hours with moderate projection. Then we have Dedcool Red Dakota, another unisex fragrance, by far one of my favorite citrus perfumes. Citrus usually does not excite me, but this is such a unique blend of notes and it truly just comes across as cool. I'm getting the mix of a juicy clementine as well as the dark outside rind. It definitely has a punchiness to it, like an edge. And the soft woody notes factor into that. There's overall like a warmth to the scent coming through from a bit of amber. The gardenia note, by the way, that does not bring it into like the full-on feminine direction. It doesn't make it mature. It just makes it smooth. And then the cherry on top is the wild berry note. And like that with that edgy, punchy clementine with the wood, the amber, what a concept. Genius. And there's just enough of that to bring in that intrigue. Like it keeps me going back to smell this. That bit of berry sweetness is so addictive, but it never is like too much to where it's going full on in the feminine direction. It's literally perfectly unisex. I feel like the person who wears this was a Hollister model like 13 years ago. Where are they now? This is where they are. So to be clear, it doesn't smell like Hollister, but I get those kind of overall cool, sporty, carefree, cute but messy hair, West Coast vibes. And I get about 5 hours with moderate projection. Giardini di Toscana Celeste is the best candied violet perfume I've put my nose on yet. Like, oh my goodness. This just makes me feel joy, to be honest. Like, I smell this and I feel like I'm filled with butterflies, like prancing in a wildflower field. It makes me feel like my most feminine, delicate self, like an absolute fairy of a woman. The violet adds such a stunning, dainty, powdery, elegant tone to the scent. You have this like fluffy, fuzzy raspberry, the vanilla sugar in here. It's so creamy, delectable, yummy. I'm just like, I want to take a bite out of it. It's like a frosting kind of texture. And then the ambroxan really makes this last. Like 8 hours, moderate projection. If you want to smell whimsical, like a girly girl, check this one. And then also from Giardini di Toscana, Bianco Latte. Yeah, It's gone absolutely viral for good reason. It has this whipped factor to it, like buttercream frosting vibes. It's vanilla, caramel, musk. It's rich and decadent, but never goes heavy. And the way that this leaves an absolute trail, like it projects. Also, I get about 8 hours with like a strong projection. This has such a smooth, yummy, like undeniably delicious factor to it. If you like it sweet, you just want to smell like caramel and vanilla, just edible, this is the one. Parfum de Marly Herod, marketed towards men. I rate it unisex. This will never not get me. This is everything I am in a fragrance. My taste perfectly depicted. My ultimate favorite fragrances are unisex that have gourmand elements and they're sexy. Yeah, that's what I want, and that's what this is. Absolutely intoxicating tobacco and an incense note, specifically the type of incense that has a bit of this sweet undertone, a creamy, smooth vanilla. And it's not listed, but I do get overall like an apple cider like vibe to this. There is cinnamon in here, just not apple, but I smell it. And it smells both sexy and so cozy and inviting at the same time, and then has beautiful woody notes in the base. Therefore, me in a bottle. And I get about 6 hours with a moderate projection. My favorite from this house, Deep in Desire Yacht by EBK. This was my first introduction to the brand, my first love, and I remember getting a sample of this from Chris, the perfume nest. She kindly sent it over, and I could smell this freaking perfume in the box without even spraying it yet. I sprayed this on and I was like, oh my gosh. I had this wish list at the time, and I typically tend to go through my wish list of like what got there first. I'll make my way through purchasing them that way. Not with this one. I had to have it immediately. I'm like, I truly cannot wait. This takes priority. I had never smelled anything like this. I have now tried Florecu's One Umbrella for Two. Those two, very similar. You do not need both, but this has better performance and it's cheaper. Like per milliliter, you're getting more for your money. Anyway, it's not listed. It's black grapes that are listed. Some of you will get that grape vibe, and then others will pick up blueberries, which is what I get. And it's absolutely scrumptious. And I hesitated for so long to even try this because people were describing it as a blueberry muffin, and that didn't quite appeal to me. I'm like, I mean, blueberry, but they smell great, but I just didn't want my person to be smelling like a blueberry muffin. And while this is truly a gourmand, it still has the perfect amount of this perfume quality that makes it exquisite and smells meant to be worn rather than 100% a direct translation of blueberry muffin. Yes, it's blueberry muffin, but I'm not getting so much of like that bready quality. It's just, it feels loaded with blueberries and like big sugar crystals on top. There's tea, hazelnut, and cedarwood to ground it, and then a nice little bit of a dark chocolate note. Unique, fruity gourmand. And I get all day wear out of this with a stronger projection. The Navitus Ambrosia Imperial, I can't stop talking about it. I need AI the Great to make so many more fragrances. Like, I want to smell everything that her mind can conjure up. I'm very excited to smell her new one. This is such a dimensional, complex, unique banana gourmand. Boozy caramelized, like warm bananas with benzoin. There's vanilla and dates. It's sweet, but not too sweet. It has a very exotic, airy quality to it from the saffron. Some amberwood and divana to ground it. A little bit of cinnamon to give it that warm, cozy spice. I don't want to dwell on it too much because I feel like I've been talking about it a lot, but it truly is one that I find absolutely addictive, and I get all day wear out of this with a moderate projection. Rirana Tonka Nutmeg. Amazing unisex fragrance. It's woody, it's spiced, it has gourmand elements, it has this powdery, creamy tone from the Orris. It's extremely comforting, especially as it dries down. Like, it gets more creamy and powdery as it sits, but there's a beautiful fresh spiciness, and then just this perfect lighter amount of sweetness from the tonka and the vanilla. And I've mentioned this in a past video, but I would not doubt it if there was a kulfi note listed, because I definitely get that kind of creamy, spiced dessert like undertone. This is not a gourmand. I just pick up on that element. It's absolutely fantastic. Men, wear this on a date. Do yourself a favor. And for any girls who like unisex fragrances, like have that kind of cool bit of edge, this is one to check out. And if you have Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato, you have to try it layered with this. It amps up that sweetness, like that whole cotton candy, marshmallowy, airy sweetness that has, paired with the powdery vibe, the spices, the vanilla and tonka. It is amazing. I feel like this is fall in a bottle. It's sexy, it's cozy, it's spiced, it's grounded, has gourmand elements. It's just amazing. And I get all day wear out of this with a stronger projection. Last one, Ex Nihilo The Irreverents. It's freaking caramel, tonka bean, and vanilla, but then it also has saffron and pink pepper, which gives it that sexy spice. If you love caramel and vanilla, you have to check this out. This is gourmand grown. Gourmand sexy, gourmand elevated. You want the gourmand experience, but you want a little bit of like something exotic, a little extra in there. The Irreverents is the one. And you're absolutely going to experience that saffron and pink pepper the most prominently in the opening. And as this dries down, it gets sweeter, creamier, warmer, and those two top notes do die down and settle. And I get about 7-8 hours with a moderate projection. So that wraps up my list for today. Please leave in the comments below, what are your most addictive perfumes? I love seeing what you guys are into. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already. If you want to see me in any more videos, I'd appreciate it so much. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.